Yo, yo, welcome to the new SKOOL community and melting fat 101. This process is actually really easy. Okay, I'm gonna break this thing down for you dummy style. Super, super simple. So that way you get a visual. So I'm gonna be drawing you pictures like a 2-year-old and give you visuals and the auditory and all of it to teach you the basic fundamentals on how to get your body to burn body fat. Now, in this video particularly, we're going to be talking about how to turn your body into a fat burning machine. And then I'm going to kind of give you the basics about like nutrition and calories and stuff. In future videos, I'll break down macros and how to actually train and those things. But for right now, let's get to it. But before we start, in case you guys don't know who I am, all right, I am the author of this book, a few books actually, but this is one of the ones that started it all, right? The Shredded Executive, right? And I wrote the original back in 2013, started getting the world shredded, and just recently did an update 2024 because things have evolved over time. So a lot of what you're going to be hearing now is the evolution of it, right? Because I've simplified it even further because people, they think that this process is difficult and that it's actually really easy. It's really freaking easy. You just got to develop discipline. So without further ado, let me kind of give you a little example of what happens if you follow, okay? You follow the process, you get shredded in 90 days or less, period. Okay? Same thing for women. So, you women watching this too, same thing. Okay? Now, let's kind of dive into how we get your body to burn fat. Okay? It's really, really, really simple. When it comes to fat loss, it's truly two things. Two freaking things. Okay? Number one, it is limiting your calorie intake every single fucking day. Number two, it is burning calories every single fucking day. Okay? It's literally two steps. All right? So watch this. I'm going to show you a little example of how it's done. And this is going to be women on this side, guys on this side. Okay? Guys burn more calories than women do. It's the same process. The only difference is how many calories you get to eat and how you train, right? So that's the only difference. It's the same process. And once you see this, you're going to go, okay, this makes sense. So just so you know how the human body works, okay? The human body burns calories 24/7. 365 days a year, 24/7, your body is burning calories. It never stops because if it does, you die. Okay? So you are constantly burning calories. Now, everybody, depending on your height and your weight, has their own basal metabolic rate. On average, the average 5'3" female, okay, that's the average height for women, right? The average female burns 1,300 calories a day at rest, doing absolutely nothing. Okay? The average dude is around 2,000. Okay? Now, do you see why guys get to eat more? Men have more muscle, men have testosterone, men burn calories, more calories. And most guys are taller than women as well, too, which is also a factor that leads to more body, which requires more energy. So they burn more calories, right? Makes sense, right? So your basal metabolic rate every single day, no matter what you do, if you laid in bed and you did nothing but Netflix, okay, this is basically what you're going to burn each day, doing nothing. All right. You over here, ladies, same thing. Okay. So this is your basal metabolic rate. So you're going to burn this amount no matter what. Okay. Now, the reason why we work out every day and the reason why we track our calorie intake is because in order for your body to burn fat, you have to do one thing. One thing. And if you do not do this one thing, you will not lose an ounce of body fat. Are you listening to me? If you do not do this one thing, you will not lose an ounce of fat. Even if your diet is flawless, even if you're freaking doing zero carbs, okay? You have to do this one thing. What is that one thing? Create a calorie deficit. You've heard this 1,000 times, usually in the phrase, you got to burn more calories than you consume, so on and so forth, right? It's true, okay? I actually, back in 2023, got fat proving this point because you have all these fucking gurus online. They're like, you don't need to check your calories. You don't need to check your calories. You don't need to check macros. You can lose fat without it. Yeah, no, you can't. Okay. Somehow, some way, you have to create a deficit. There's like 20,000 fucking diets out there. Every single one of them, in some way, creates some form of a calorie deficit. And I'm going to show you why this is important. Okay. So when it comes to you losing body fat, if you are doing nothing, okay, you're one of the typical, which if you're in this group, this isn't you, but let's just say on the days you take off, right? Or, somebody okay? So on the days you don't work out, this is all you're going to burn for the day, okay? See that? Is basically your BMR, all right? And the way that the human body works is anytime you overconsume calories, okay, which back to my point a second ago, which I didn't finish, I got fat on purpose in 2023 to prove this. Because you have all these fucking gurus online that you don't need, it's not about calories. So I still worked out every single day, got fat, okay, and then lost fat by so I got fat by eating too many, and then I lost fat by cutting them back. Matter of fact, I think the photo's right here on this page, actually. Here's right here. Here's right here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This was me getting fat. It took me 30 days. I gained like 16 pounds. Look at this. I got some titties. I got some double chin coming in. I got belly. My abs disappeared. Then 6 weeks later, boom. Okay. Literally did that in 2023 to prove these fuckers wrong because it's always a calories game. Now, here's how it works. When you don't burn enough calories each day, but you consume too much, right? So if you're not working out, right, you eat 1301, 1400, 1500, you getting fat, ladies, fellas. If you don't work out, you eat 2200, you getting fat. Okay, now the problem is that you guys ain't actually doing these amounts. What's happening is most of you guys eat out at restaurants, eat fast food, right? So your actual calorie output is like up here, right? And all this excess over where you burned stored as fat. And that's how you end up getting fat, right? And that photo I just showed you, that's all I did. I was still working out every day. I was still eating clean. I just ate way more than my body was burning each day, right? 16 pounds in a month, okay? So, and that's how you gain fat. So losing fat is the opposite, and this is how it works, okay? So this is why I was telling you what you got to do is limit your intake every day and burn. Here's how it works, okay? Now, typically for a dude who wants to get shredded, okay, you want to burn fat, and just so you know what getting shredded really is, it's fat loss, okay? Getting lean, getting toned, getting ripped, getting defined, getting shredded, okay? All the same thing. It's all fat loss, okay? You'll never see the muscles until your body fat gets low enough for you to see them. Fellas, if you ain't got abs, you're fat, period. Ladies, if you don't have lines in the arms and the legs, you're fat, period, okay? Got to get your body fat down or you'll never see an ounce of muscle no matter how much weightlifting you do and protein you eat. If you do not get your body fat low, which ladies is low teens, fellas basically below 10%, okay? So you need to be below 10% to start seeing some muscles and some abs. And you can kind of, for some guys, you can see your abs a little bit at 12%, but for the most part, single digits is the sweet spot for most guys, okay? Now, the way that we do this is going to be your calorie limit. The average female, okay, her calorie limit 1,500 a day. The average calorie limit for the dudes 2,200 calories a day because the average dude's about 5'9", okay? Now, what we do is we work out every single day, right? No days off, ever, okay? No days off, okay? You either work out every day and you eat this amount as your limit, or you starve. Your choice. You got to create a deficit somehow, okay? So now, if a dude's eating 2,200 calories a day and he's working out hard, right? Which I'll teach you how to do the workouts and stuff too, right? And he's working out hard, he's easily going to be putting out 3,000 calories a day. The average female is going to be doing like 2,000 plus a day. Okay. So what happens is when you work out, you're going to be putting out 2,000, right? So your body's burning 2,000, right? But you're limiting at your 2,200 or your 1,500, right? And then what happens is this is the deficit right here, right? You ate this much, but you burned this much. Now this gap right here, right? All this fat. We're burning off fat right here. We're burning it off. Burning it off. Now you do this for months and you're shredded. Okay? That's literally fat burning 101. Like, that's literally all you got to do. Now, the problem is, and here's where most people ruin this. Most people, when they are trying to get in shape, for one, most people don't track their macros. Okay, now most of you don't even know what a macro is. Okay, macros are your protein, carbs, and fats. Okay, you eat a specific amount of these to hit your calorie goals, right? There's a specific amount you got to eat to hit 1,500, specific amount you got to eat to hit 2,200, right? And when you do that, because your macros are important, because 1,500 calories a day of pasta and rice is going to have a different effect on your body than 1,500 calories a day that is like steak and broccoli. Okay? Completely different effect on how you look. So remember these three little things, okay? Calories determine how much you weigh. Okay? Your macros determine how you look, right? Whether you skinny fat or you sexy, okay? And your micros determine how you feel. This is your vitamins and minerals, right? You got to be eating nutrition. You got to eat nutritious food, so you're getting vitamins and minerals out of that, right? So, but that's the rule. So you achieve this deficit by hitting your macros. You burn your calories, like I was telling you. Limit your calories every day, burn calories every day. You do this consistently for months. Da-da! You burn off all that excess body fat and you start to reveal the muscles underneath, right? So that's the basic fundamentals on how to melt fat, okay? So if you do that consistently, you will get lean. And the leaner that you get, the more muscular you look. Do you understand? So that's the simple burning fat 101. Now, how do we do this? Okay, so number one, like I said, hit the macros. Now, the other thing that you're going to be doing is that you're going to be working out every single day. Okay, now that doesn't mean you're going to need to be going beast mode in the gym every day, right? Like if you're just coming out of the gate, start lifting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? So do it like this: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So let's do Monday through Sunday. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So here's how you do this. So if you're a newbie, which if you're in here, you're probably not a newbie, but some of you may be, okay? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're going to lift weights, okay? Tuesday, Thursday, walk 10,000 steps, okay? This is the basics. I mean, walking's not really a workout, but if you're walking 10,000 steps, especially if you got some heels and stuff, you're still going to burn calories. You're still going to do this, okay? Now, on top of that, your goal is, and you want to get a heart rate monitor, okay? Wrist heart rate monitor. There's the Fitbit Charge, the Fitbits, Apple Watches, Galaxy Watches. They all count calories, okay? And so you want to use these, and your goal is every single day, ladies, your goal is to burn 500 calories in a workout. You're only tracking this in your physical activity, okay? So ladies, your workout calorie burn 500 plus. You want to lose fat faster? Do 1,000, okay? Men, yours is going to be 700 to 1,000, okay? The bigger you are, the bigger your number is, okay? So if you're 6'5", you should be doing 1,000 plus a day, all right? If you're basically 6'2" or more, do 1,000 plus a day because you're a big dude. You burn calories like butter, right? So you have to hit your calorie burn goals. So we're going to limit calories, burn calories. That difference there is going to go to your body fat. It's going to melt that body fat. And as it melts it, you're going to shrink down and then you're going to start to see the muscles underneath. It's literally all you have to do. Now, when it comes to the macros, here's what you got to remember. I'm going to go deeper in this on another video. But for right now, I just want to plant this seed because a lot of times when it comes to you remembering things, you got to hear it over and over and over and over again, okay? So when it comes to your macros, when we cut the calories to create this deficit, okay, we cut those calories from the carbs. Why? Why do we do that? Because carbs are inessential. You can 100% live without carbs. But if you try and eliminate protein, you die. You try and eliminate fats, you die. Every single thing that you have ever been told about nutrition for the past basically probably fucking 100 years is full of shit and lies. Okay? They've been demonizing fats, demonizing cholesterol, demonizing red meat, demonizing eggs because they don't want you to eat these because they know it makes you strong and fit. And strong and fit people reproduce and they rebel. And that's what they don't want. Okay? So these foods do not cause heart disease. Sugar and grains cause heart disease. Not cholesterol, not saturated fat, not dude, I'm 46 years old as of right now, 2025. Okay? Look at me. All right? 100% natural, no drugs. Okay? My grandmother died at the age of 46. Same age I am right now. By the time my mom was my age, she had already had a stroke and had cancer twice. Here I am, flawlessly healthy, lean, fit, strong. I have a resting heart rate of 39 beats per minute. Okay? The only person better than me is Lance Armstrong back in the day. Okay? My resting heart rate is super low. All right? Super healthy. And I eat pounds of meat a day. Okay? Like literally, as soon as I get off this, I have my food is over here sitting on the counter. And I'm literally going to go eat a pound and a half of meat and 6 fried eggs. Okay? And my resting heart rate is a 39, right? My blood pressure is super low. My testosterone levels are through the roof, like I'm 20 still, right? I'm walking, talking proof that everything that I'm about to teach you and everything that you've been taught is bullshit. But everything that I'm about to teach you is a fucking fact, okay? And my clients, those dudes I just showed you the photo of, they're living proof of it too, okay? So when it comes to your food, all right, we got the macros we got to hit. We got to burn them calories, right? But when it comes to your food, your primary focus every single meal is your protein and your fats. These are essential macronutrients that you have to have or you die, okay? You ever seen all these people who try and go on these low-fat diets? What ends up happening to them? They fucking fall off the wagon every goddamn time. Why? Because their fucking health tanks. Tanks. Because you need fats in your diet in order for you to function optimally. Okay? Same thing with protein. If you do not get enough protein in your diet each day, right? The first fucking thing you should be eating every damn meal is protein. Okay? That's a rule number 1 when it comes to nutrition. But when it comes to you not getting enough protein, which most people are protein deficient, they don't get enough. When you don't get enough protein, your body will go to your muscles to break down your muscle to get the aminos it needs in order for it to rebuild, repair, function, whatever it's doing at that moment. It's going to steal the aminos from your muscles if you don't eat enough. Do you hear what I'm saying? So you have to make sure you give your body enough protein each day. And most of the proteins a lot of the protein that you're going to eat already have fats in them. So you may not have to add any fats to your diet because they're going to come primarily from your meats, right? But you got to get a significant amount of protein every single day. Otherwise, you're going to lose muscle, right? And it's also going to affect your hormones. It's going to affect all your shit, right? So you got to make sure that your primary thing that you eat every single day and every single meal is some form of an animal protein, not fucking protein shakes, not fucking yogurts, not fucking protein bars. Animal sources of protein. Do you hear me? Okay? Animal sources of protein. First thing you put in your mouth every time you open your mouth to eat is protein. Okay? Now, with that said, and I'll dive into this more in another video teaching you about macros and everything like that. But just kind of, I want to plant this in your mind right now. Okay. So whenever you're eating, all right, for women, you basically, if you're eating 3 times a day, you're going to basically be eating like a minimum of 40 grams of protein per meal. Okay. Dudes, okay, men, you're going to be doing like 70 plus. Okay. You need over 200 grams a day. Okay. If you're taller, you need like 300 a day. Okay. But I'm just trying to give you like a basic rundown. I like to simplify shit. Okay. So when it comes to your food, that's the first fucking thing you eat every time you open your mouth is some fucking protein. Okay. Not fucking rice, not fucking potatoes, not fruit, not any processed bullshit, a fucking animal source of protein. All right. This is literally the nutrition hack because when you do this, and here's another little fact for you guys that a lot of you guys don't know. When you eat an animal-based diet, which is what this is, because we get the majority of our calories for our deficit, okay? So right here, majority of our calories are going to come from your protein and your fats, okay? And there's going to be a little bit left over for some carbs, for some vegetables, for some fruit, right? If you want to go real fast, just go hardcore carnivore. No plant foods whatsoever, just straight animals, right? But you're still tracking your calories and limiting your calories, right? But when it comes to your food, okay, so you're always going to be eating protein first every single meal, okay? And getting your protein and fats because the majority of your food is going to come from there. Now, the reason why this is important, when you're getting this much protein a day, okay, ever heard of Ozempic? Yeah, we all heard of Ozempic. We all know I talk shit about it online all the time, right? Because Ozempic's, it's killing people, it's making people go blind, it's causing like stomach paralysis and leading to people puking. And the whole point of Ozempic and the secret sauce behind it is called GLP-1. It's a peptide that makes you feel full. Okay? Guess what happens whenever you eat protein and fats? Your body secretes GLP-1s, makes you feel full. Okay? This is why. This is the hack. Okay? This is why this is the hack to nutrition, because what's going to happen is when you make sure you are eating protein first every single meal, you're going to be full. What happens when you're full? Think about it. On Thanksgiving, and when you're full, what happens? You're stuffed. You can't even think about food, right? And so when you eat a significant amount of protein first, right, you're going to be full, and then you're not even going to be thinking about eating any food because you're full, right? It's a hack to the nutrition. And that helps you hit these numbers more easily, okay? Simple little nutrition hack, all right? Now, in the next video, I'll kind of go over macros. I'll kind of go I'll kind of go over what they look like and then kind of give you an idea on like how you would actually do your week or your month and so forth, right? To help you burn fat. But just remember, when it comes to fat loss, all it is limit your shit every day, burn calories every day. Now, keep this in mind, and I'm going to tell you more about this later too. You're going to hear me say this a lot because this is where most people fuck it up. Most people fuck this up, okay, by this. They do this. Let me go ahead and erase this actually. Most people are good during the week, all right? During the week, they're good. They're in a calorie deficit. They're doing their workouts. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday comes, and then they become a fucking piggy. They go out and socialize, and then they overeat, eat all the wrong shit, doing fucking cheat meals, drinking sugary drinks, right? And then what ends up happening is that their calorie intake is like 6K, 10K a day. And then what ends up happening is they've consumed so much in excess over that 42% of their week, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that little weekend, right? That they show up Monday fat. Okay. Show up Monday, fat, 5-10 pounds heavier, and then they spend the whole next few days trying to get it off, right? Only to repeat it again. Okay. In order for you to melt fat and keep it off, every single fucking day has limits. Every single fucking day has calorie limits you do not go over. When you go out and socialize, you got to be thinking 5 steps ahead, already planning what you're going to eat, already not planning on not eating certain things, planning on not drinking certain things, right? You got to be smart in social situations. Ideally, you want to eat before you go, so when you show up, you already got that GLP-1 in your body and you full and you ain't even thinking about it, right? So, but anyways, this is what most people do wrong. You go look at any gym, right? Any gym, and you're going to see the same people work out all the time, look like shit. And that's because they do this every weekend. Every single day, when it comes to losing fat and keeping it off, has limits on your calorie intake. Every single day. So you have to always be thinking ahead of what you're going to eat and not going to eat, right? How you're going to avoid certain situations so you don't overdo it and then basically void out all the hard work and effort that you just put in. Do you understand? So when it comes to your food, just remember, you got to be on point on the weekends in social situations, right? There is a smart way to drink. Not going to tell you never need to drink again, right? I mean, if you want to lose fat fast, I would avoid drinking altogether for a while. But there is a smart way to do it if you're going to do it on rare occasions, okay? Once you're lean, you can get away with having a few drinks here and there more often. But until then, you cannot, because whenever you're drinking alcohol, it is basically deemed as like a poison to your body, and your liver will shut down fat burning until all that poison is gone, which can take 24 to 48 to 72 hours. So even if your calories are on point the next day, you ain't burning shit because you had drinks. So if you're having a glass of wine with dinner every night, even though it's in your macros, you ain't losing shit, okay? Because you got the alcohol in your system. It's shutting down your fat burning. All right. So when it comes to fat loss, let's recap. How do we lose fat? How do we lose fat? Let me clean this up a little bit. Okay. Just remember, we have to limit your calorie intake every single day and burn calories every day. That's it. It's 2 steps. Limit your shit, burn your shit. Boom. You do that consistently, you end up one of the rare people. It's literally less than 1% of the population. Literally. Because Americans are fat. Like, in case you don't know this, the average female in America is 5'3", 171 pounds, 40% body fat. That is 8% over the standard for clinical obesity. Okay? In other words, women in America are fat as fuck. Okay? Dudes are 5'9" and roughly around 200 pounds with 40-inch waists. That's average. Okay? So the average dude in America is 28% body fat, which is 3% the men's standard for obesity. So basically, the average American is clinically obese. Here's what's even funnier, okay? Here's what's even funnier. Do you know what the average body fat of a pig is? 16 to 20%. So literally, the average American is fatter than a pig. Do you know what the average body fat of a cow is? It's anywhere from 18 to 30%. So most of people in America are also fatter than cows. Okay? Think about that fact. That's how fat people are today. All right? So that's why I created this community. That's why I post so much online. Like, it's way worse than what you think it is. It's really, really, really bad. When, if you really look back, you know, back in the, even in the early 1980s, people were still really thin, right? But if you go way back to like the 1960s, before they started attacking our food and shit, and that's a whole nother rabbit hole you guys get ready for. But just know that everything you've been told for the past 60 years is a lie. Okay. So, but anyways, once they orchestrated this lie, that's what led to everybody starting to get fat. Okay. But if you look at people back in the 1970s at the beaches and 1960s and before, like the average dude used to have abs and be like 150, 160 pounds. That was normal. Okay. Normal, right? Because in case you didn't know it, every single one of you watching this video right now, you have abs. You just can't see them because you're fat. That's it. Right. Now, most women don't want abs, right? They just want those vertical lines. Still got to get your body fat down. You never see those till you get lean, right? So, but anyways, you all have abs, all right? But if you look back, now let's go back to what I was talking about. If you go back into the 1960s, 1970s, the people back then, there was no fat people. The average female back then had a 25-inch waist. Do you know what the average freaking waist size of women is today? You can look this up. CDC fucking website. Okay. The average waist size of women today is 39 fucking inches. Okay. Used to be 25. 14 inches gained, or the same height women today as back then. Okay. 39 inches when it used to be 25. Okay. Women used to be hot, little smoke shows, and now they're not. Okay. It's rare to see fit girls these days. It's rare to see fit guys. It's literally less than 1% of the population, right? And you're about to become one of them because you just watched this video and you're going to be watching the next ones coming up. I'm going to teach you how to do this. It's actually really simple. Like I was telling you, to conclude, okay, limit your calories every day, right? Limit your calories every day. Every single day has limits. You have to discipline yourself 365 days a year, okay? Burn calories every day, right? That's how you lose fat. That gap right there is going to go into your body fat, burning that off. Now, with that said, just to kind of plant the seed, you don't have to stay here forever. This is just until you get lean. Okay? Once you get lean, then what we do is you slowly increase your calories, stay there for a little while, increase your calories, stay there for a little while, increase your calories, stay there for a little while. You'll probably max out around 3K. And then you can actually get lean and eat 3,000 calories a day. Okay? If you do it right. But you got to be lean. You still got to be eating smart. Still got to be eating clean, right? Still got to be working out regularly, right? And the same thing for you women. You just bump your way up. You'll get to where you can do like 2,000. Like I got girls that they eat like 21, 2,200. Some of them a little bit more because they're very active and shredded. Like shredded. And we're talking women in their 40s that are moms, 50s and they're moms, right? And eating a lot of calories because they've already done the process to get the fat off. That, just so you know, getting the fat off is the part that takes the most work, right? So you just got to suck it up for like a good 12 to 20 weeks on average, right? Just suck it up, go hard as shit. Once you get there, the process of staying there, so much easier. So much easier. And you get to start eating more food, right? The process is super simple, right? So you don't have to starve yourself, which you're not even starving yourself here, because when you're eating an animal-based diet and you're eating all that protein and all those fats, it actually makes you feel full. So a lot of times when people first start doing this, they can't even eat all their food for the first like 4 to 6 weeks. So if you find that when you start doing the 40 grams per meal, ladies, or the 70 grams per meal for you dudes, you're going to find you're going to be really stuffed and you're not going to be able to finish your food for the first like month and a half. Totally normal. Don't force it. Okay. If you're full, you're full. Just, you're done for the day. Right. So, but with time, and as you start to lift more and start to make more progress and your body starts to adjust, you're going to start to get more hungry. So you won't be so full, right? You'll still have days where you're full. Like I've still got days where like I'm so full that like I can't even eat all my calories. And I'm like, damn, I'm done at 1,400 a day. That's like girl level because I had like, way a huge high protein meal first, and it just totally triggered the GLP. And I'm like, so full, I can't even eat anymore today. Oh well, I'll eat some more tomorrow. But just know that that's going to happen. It's totally normal. Okay, don't force it. All right. So that pretty much concludes the video for Melting Fat 101. Just remember, limit, burn. Okay, we're burning 7 days a week. There's no days off. Okay. Now, for those of you guys that are advanced, this schedule here, right here, So this is for the beginners. Lift, 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 right? And this one is walk, 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 right? 10,000 steps, right? For those of you that are more advanced, you guys should actually be lifting like 5 to 7 days a week. Okay. Like, and then I would even on Saturday throw in some like sprints or something like that as well too. Matter of fact, that's a whole nother factor, which we'll talk about later too, that you can do to accelerate your fat loss. Giving your macros are on point, right? And you're training hard in the gym. You can throw in sprints on top of each workout at the end of each workout, and you'll even lose it even faster, right? And you only got to do that until you're lean. You don't have to do it forever. It's just like I said, remember, you got to suck it up and go hard for 12 to 20 weeks. That's what I'm talking about. Like, there's things that you can do to accelerate it, because the more you burn, the faster you lose, right? So all right, so that pretty much concludes the video. We will see you in the next one.